Profitable trading today. Here are the results for the day. Plus 1375 on the 250K portfolio. And there was some extra slippage, so we underperformed the hypotheticals. Very spiky market, stop running type market. We're up on the week, $75, up on the month, up on the quarter, up on the year. And so getting back yesterday's losses, we lost about 1,300 yesterday, up 1,375 today. So back up on the month. And so hypothetical drawdown for the portfolio calculator that we're trading right now is minus 13,687.50. This is a new portfolio. This is the cumulative of the old portfolio as well as our current trading. Last equity peak we've had in live trading was a little over 2 months ago on May the 5th. Let's look at the market, and just crazy price action. It's really spiky, and we started trading live on this Monday. So yesterday we started trading live, and this type of price action was down. This type of price action up a little bit. That rally at the end of the day helped us out. We were down about minus 5K down here on the day, and so the market was just all over the place all day long. We were down on in the hypotheticals on Wednesday. This is Wednesday. This is the first trading day of the month. The 3rd and the 4th were holidays, so we didn't trade. We don't typically trade those. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week, we were waiting for a drawdown, and so you can see the type of price action, really choppy, and then reversal. And so we waited for that drawdown. We got it. We started trading it yesterday. We're down about 1,300 yesterday, up about 1,375 today. So going into CPI tomorrow, the report comes out at 7:30 a.m. and the market tried to rally in front of that CPI. I guess it's starting to do that. It looks for a favorable number. It anticipates a favorable number and is rallying in advance. So it should be interesting to see what will happen 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And really just not a lot of good price action to trade so far this month. It's really just been a lot of chop, in a very narrow range. And so I guess if you draw a trend line like this and you draw a trend like that, you could have picked off those points, but you'd have to have drawn those in advance. You'd have to draw on those trend lines here. If you'd have said, with no market data, let's draw these trend lines here, and you can pick these points off. And so looking forward to trading tomorrow. Let's take a look at the actual trades. So tick pulse was up on the day, plus 1,062.50. And opening chop was up on the day, 387.50. Had the short, had the long. So only 2 strategies traded today in the S&P in this type of market. So that was a good thing in this type of market environment. You do see the end-of-day trend. We're in that stealth environment now where you see at 1537 the market starts to rally, and at this point it just looks like it's sideways. It just looks like nothing's going to happen. And this is typical of these stealth bull markets. I've seen this over the years, where just if you take out this end of day move right there, it really just looks like chop, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere this move adds to this bottoming move, and it ended up being a nice move overall. Very stealth bull market rally at the very end of the day. As we go into CPI, same thing in the Nasdaq, and there were more trades in the Nasdaq. You see just a stop running price action. You see this massive surge right here, and then multiple pullbacks, 100% pullback to this point, stopped out on this strategy, minus 730. Viper got in on this move, pulled back, stopped out, rally, got back in, pullback, rally. Minus 650 on the end of the day. Robot stopped out, minus 425. EVP1 had the short trade. Markets, most free markets have a little bit more ebb in them, and this is just every time the market's going to ebb, it rallies right back. And so got the end of the day move though on this EVP1 to reduce the loss on the EVP1 long short. This EVP1 was profitable on the long side. This one only takes the long trades. And then tick count trend, you see this fast move down right there. That was a fast move. It looked like some news event. Extra slippage, stop out. And so 2 winners and then 1 loser. But up on the day on that, plus 525 on tick count trend. And the trade of the day really was tick pullback. Got in from the very beginning, held through all this chop, like it wouldn't really be. If you look at, you get in this trade at the beginning of the day, and at this point at 1536 and 1536, it really hasn't had any profit. And so it ends up being up $1,400 on the day because the last 24 minutes really, plus the last 15 minutes. We hold it until 1514 or 1614 Eastern time. And so, brokers start. One of the things about these markets is brokers start coming in, and day trade margins start to run out. And so if you have a day trade margin on something, you have to get out here. And so all day it's a traffic jam. Kind of, you can think of it as a traffic jam with day trade margins. And then once the day trade margin traders get out, then the market rallies. And so they were trading for this rally, and they didn't get this rally because they had too much margin on. They had to get out, and then it rallied once they exited the position. So tick long, aggressive, also took advantage of this move at the end of the day, plus 1175. And then momentum reversal, minus 1225. This was the only short trade today on the Nasdaq. And so we had one short trade on the S&P right there, and then one short trade on the Nasdaq, stopped out. So all these pullbacks stopped out some longs, but we didn't have a lot of strategies going short on these sell-offs. These parabolic type sell-offs rallied back. And so just this extreme stop running price action. Almost every morning you can see that now. This morning you don't see it, but here, sell-off, pull back, sell-off, rally back, sell-off, rally, sell-off, rally, and then sell-off. Sell-off, rally, sell-off, rally. And so just a lot of selling off with rallies, but really going nowhere. We've been in these same levels for a month, supporting 15,000 in the Nasdaq, and so be looking forward to CPI. We've had a sideways equity curve now, sideways market for almost the first half. Tomorrow is July the 12th, so it'll be interesting to see how this market resolves after CPI. Also, I want to show you this. We just came out with the Magnificent 7 trading system that takes advantage of those 7 highly weighted Nasdaq 100 stocks, and then they announced that on Friday. I announced we have a drawdown alert to start trading the portfolio with the Magnificent 7, and then late Friday, they announced that they're going to rebalance the Nasdaq. And so these top companies are more than 50% of the weighting of the Nasdaq, and after the rebalance, they'll only be about 39% of the Nasdaq 100. So it'll be interesting to see how this affects our trading system, if any. And so interesting the timing on that. We released this strategy, but we said on Friday we were going to trade it in our new portfolio with the drawdown alert, and then later that evening we're going to rebalance the Nasdaq 100. So also want to show you the money management algorithms. This is my Windows 7 computer. I have it on my remote desktop. I have multiple computers on remote desktop that I can look at all in the same place, and so that helps me with my workflow. But here is the money management algorithms. This is the indicator that shows you the daily P&L on 1-minute charts. So I love this indicator. It can tell me all the combined equity curve results. The red is the P&L. You can see how it came down here, and it only updates at the close of 1-minute bars. It's not an intra-bar thing. You can't make it go intra-bar. And this is the lowest we can go, is 1 minute without dipping down into tick charts. And so I have set this up for 24 months back, and I want to show you this. But one of the things I had to do this was I had to convert all my strategies to 1-minute charts. And so I've been able to do that. My next goal is to get rid of the .D charts, and I've done that with a lot of those. And so I've been able to insert this MM-Save indicator in these. I have a different MM-Save indicator in each of these charts. You see MM50 Save, MM51, MM52, MM53, and I'm able to insert all these indicators into these charts 17 on the S&P, 17 on the Nasdaq. They're different ones. I have 100 indicators for the saves now. If you have the money management algorithms, you can put this on your charts. Now, it'll only be accurate to the lowest, to the largest interval that you have. So that's why I made them all 1 minute. So if you had if I had a strategy with 15-minute charts, it would only be accurate to 15 minutes. And so I wanted it accurate down to 1 minute. So I've converted everything to 1 minute charts. And this save indicator sends information, and then this indicator receives that information and plots it. And the red is the daily P&L. The yellow is the intraday drawdown. See, on this day, the strategy was down about $7,800, but the drawdown from the equity peak, because it was up about 10,000, almost 10,000, and it was down about 7,800, so down over 16, almost a $17,000 intraday drawdown. Now we measure our risk based on end of day loss. We don't claim intraday tick by tick gains and lock those in. You have to give it room. And so you can see the 5th it was down, the 6th it was down, the 7th this was down, the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then the 10th. This is when we started trading live. It was down yesterday. It was down today. So it was on its 5th losing day in a row, down almost 5K here, and it made a comeback at the end of the day. I love being able to see where we are on the equity curve. We can look at what I typically have done is just to quickly sum up in my head the indicator values. So plus 1,062.50 plus 387.50. You can just quickly say, it's about $1,400.25, somewhere in there, $1,450, and then sum up your Nasdaq indicators. But this money management algorithm indicator will allow you to insert these indicators in each chart, and then you can adjust your indicator for the charts, the number of charts that you have, and you can see the combined equity curve on 1 minute charts. I'll make a separate video for that. And then the bonus on top of that is you can take this indicator and you can export the data to a text file, and then you can create an equity curve in TradeStation and test it. So this is the equity curve. This represents the this indicator right here exported, and this is through Friday. This is something that I have to manually export, and then I reload in this chart once I save the text file, and then I can come in here and I can test it. So this basic strategy right here, I'm just buying it at the open, selling at the close, no stop loss, no rules. I'm just measuring this in TradeStation, and here is the equity curve. Each trade represents 1 day, and they're all long trades because we're going long our own equity curve. We're not shorting our equity curve. This is not the market. This is the equity curve of our strategy, and this is what it looks like on an intraday basis. And so intraday peak to valley, $44,000 drawdown, but on a closed trade, close trade is $31,000. On an end of day basis, we know this is about $25,000 from our portfolio calculator. So 11. This is over 2 years. I've been able to load 2 years of data on these charts on the first 2 workspaces. I'm in TradeStation 9.1 and I am in Windows 7 right now. So this number, the average trade profit each day represents a trade. Getting in at the open, selling on the close, and then I've been testing all kinds of things. We look at things like putting in a trailing stop at the end of the day, or putting in a profit target, putting in a stop loss, or entering on a drawdown, or exiting on a run up. All those things you can test with this because you're down to 1 minute. Now, if you find something, then you have to figure out how to put it in back in your strategies and look at the money management algorithms, which is a next level that I've not done yet. This is something that could be done manually right now, but it does allow you to test it. It does allow you to test this back-tested approach of what your portfolio would look like. For example, what did it look like if I had a $5,000 stop loss in this portfolio? You see this net profit as a percentage of drawdown, 36.50, and then let's look at the equity curve. The total net profit, $1,139, $31,000 drawdown. What happens if I put in a $5,000 stop loss? Now you can see that the numbers are lower. 3650 or instead 3376 instead of 3650. The drawdown is a little bit less. The largest losing trade is almost 7,000. Why is that? These numbers are the close of each 1 minute bar. So if you see this flat line, that means there's no position, they're flat. And so these numbers are the close of 1 minute bar. So if you have if the close of 1 minute, one bar is 4,900, and then it's not calculated again till the close of the next bar. And so, trying to get intra-bar data, you have to go down to tick charts. You have to have all your strategies on tick charts. You'd have to combine, if you could go back 2 years of tick charts on all your strategies and have 34 tick chart strategies, or even down to 1 second, and then you could go intra 1 minute. But that's pretty extreme, too intense for the computer, and so it would crash TradeStation. Plus, we only have about 6 months of continuous data on tick charts, and if you go less than 1 minute on any of your intervals, you need tick data to go more than 6 months. And so this is 2 years worth of information, and I'm going to be further testing this. I've had to re-release this because of our portfolio updates, and I've had to convert everything to 1 minute charts. And so I'm making this daily video long, I know, but I wanted to introduce this concept to you because there's so many ideas that you have when you watch the market. You say, look, give all this profit back. This was last Friday. You say, well, is there something I can do? And on any given day, that idea would work, but when you back test it, it usually makes the strategy worse. And so when you micromanage your strategies, it doesn't improve them, and you can find that on a 1 minute chart basis. And so wanted to share that with you today. I have more details on this latest release of the money management algorithm indicator and how to backtest with money management algorithms. And then we'll have another release on how to go live with money management.
Hey, David Bean here. Welcome to Capstone Trading Systems YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe to join our community of algorithmic traders. We are real money traders. We share our winning streaks, we share our losing streaks, as well as market updates, strategies, and coding tips.